Yeah.
We're trying to be so
I was
quiet.
just like,
Because poor Caryn is trying to walk and talk and do her thing. And of course, I'm always yammering away.
like, gee.
And then Stella's trying to run from
the leather room.
It's quite a moving parts operation.
We can talk now?
Yeah, we can talk. We can talk
good.
now.
Okay.
We can talk now. The young ones are the parents.
Morning, everybody. Hello. Hi. Dina?
You know what? Caryn would never Simon Cowell us.
Oh.
Cowell, Segway City.
Segway City, because
Segway City.
let's get into this, because there's a new interview with the New York Times. Simon Cowell is reflecting on his very successful career in the music industry, but he does have some regrets. We all have regrets.
Yep.
It's something to be honest about those regrets. And his regret is that he's being a tad too harsh towards contestants on American Idol. He says his goal was just to find good artists to sign to a label. He said, I didn't realize I've probably gone too far. I didn't particularly like audition days because they are long and they are boring.
They're 19-hour days.
I would get fed up. And of course, out of 100 nice comments, what are they going to use? They're always going to use the bad comments. And then when I was in a bad mood, I got that. What can I say? I'm sorry. This doesn't mean Simon won't give his blunt, honest opinion anymore. He's just doing it in a gentler fashion.
You know what he was doing? What you talked about earlier, rage bait, the word of the year?
Yeah.
Clickbait, rage bait. It was before all that stuff even existed. And I'll tell you, I've interviewed him many a times. Couldn't be nicer. Couldn't be more kind, gentle. And I'm not just talking when the red light is on. In the pre-chat before, he shoots the breeze afterwards with the tea. You'll see his son running around the background, his wife, a truly nice guy. It was long days, and he said, listen, I was so tired that by the time within 10 seconds, my ear knew. And I said I wanted to find talent on the show, so he wasn't going to waste time, but it came off as harsh, and he gets that now. I think it's because he's 66, and he's reflecting, and he has an 11-year-old son. And I love it that it shows that with a little introspection, you can change for the better. I think it's so refreshing.
Wasn't the success of the show, though, based on him being mean to people? Wasn't that how it became so popular? Because he was kind of the first British one to do that, where you're just like, I can't believe he's saying that to people.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's what draws you to the show. You're like, what is he going to say next?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I like the fact that he's like reflecting now and thinking like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have been as harsh. There were times where I would watch and I'd be like, ooh, maybe he just went a little too far in some of his comments. So I'm glad that he's like looking at it now and is like, okay, you know what? I should step back and reflect on the past.
Well, and it's a huge show. So people would literally be pouring their hearts out thinking they can sing, and maybe no one's ever told them that they can't.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're humiliated and shamed in front of the world, right?
Yeah,
so there's that
and there's ways to do it, right? There's ways to do it in a gentler fashion. I think he's reflecting, one, because as you get older, you get a little more sensitive about things and emotional about it when you reflect back and like, ooh, I was a bit of a jerk. I shouldn't have done that. Also, two, he has an 11-year-old. And he knows that 11-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds nowadays are a little bit different with their emotions than maybe when he started this show. You can't talk to people that way. You will get canceled a lot quicker.
And he's picturing his son getting that advice.
And that's what it is, right? I think that's part of it for him. But, yeah, you know, and I also think because there's contestants that have come out, too, and said, hey, he ruined my self-esteem.
Yeah.
You know, he really destroyed. And then there's contestants where he did that to whatever, and they came back stronger. And they are bona fide stars, even though he said, yeah, you got nothing.
It's a tough industry. It's a tough industry to be in, right? So I think maybe to I don't know, work that muscle, work up that skin to be able to play in this game, if you're able to do it, I think it probably helped him. I don't know, Caryn, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I honestly thought it was always just exaggerated for TV. Like it was a TV shtick, right? Like I think it would be a totally different conversation we'd be having had cameras not been rolling and he spoke to people like that. I always just thought it was kind of like dramatized or supposed to be dramatized in that way. But I mean, as you get older, you reflect on how you speak to people. Clearly, that was the way he was speaking to people. Did we fault him? We all watched it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
it was entertaining.
look at the time. There was
entertaining.
Perez Hilton. There was Howard Stern. There was Fashion Police. All of the shows back then. There was Tyra Banks. If you look at some Top Model, America's Next Top Model clips, none of that stuff would be allowed to be said to people today. So we have come a long way as a society. And I think if you look at, we're saying it's because he's older. Not everybody does that introspection. Not everybody does that work.
Sure.
And I say, if you are lucky enough to live to be a certain age, I truly feel it's to be on a soulful journey to learn and become a better person, to become more empathetic, or you either stay neutral or you get worse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens? Because we see the older, like,
You can get salty.
mean, salty, nasty, acid-tongued, where it maybe gets worse if you don't do that work. Or you don't have people.
You've worked in these shows in the past. You're working on a show right now. By the way, awesome last night, Christmas episode. Us and the kids watched it.
Weren't they amazing?
They were like, where are you?
Bake Master Battle.
Bake Master Battle
too.
is airing on Monday nights at 7
p.m.
on the Food Network. Where are you getting these bakers from?
Oh my gosh.
There's something special.
Props to the casting department because they have found truly remarkable bakers. They did a cupcake challenge, a pull-apart challenge, and a Christmas card last night. What they're able to do within a short period of time is incredible, or just period. It's so inspiring, and I love that you said the kids watch it, which is what it's supposed to be, as family, fun, and entertainment, and it makes you feel good. And we were very conscious on that show to not tear people apart, but to give them constructive criticism. There's a difference.
So how would you, like, what's an example of that?
So they would say, you know what, this tastes really good, but it is a little more dry than it should be. But I could taste your flavors in there, and it's amazing, and it looks great. Or it tastes delicious, but maybe you could have, improved on your piping. That's not for me to do. It's more so for the judges, and Dwight Smith and April Julian, who are amazing
and they're so
pros at
sweet.
that.
But they're not Simon, who would have said, this tastes like trash.
Or Hell's Kitchen. What's his name? Gordon Ramsay. This tastes like a
He would have thrown it.
Yeah, would Gordon Ramsay be Gordon Ramsay without the way his personality? No, because that's his shtick. That's his persona.
Yeah.
I think there's also a thing to be said about how you receive that kind of feedback too. Like, I love to get feedback, and like, you don't need to like sugarcoat it for me. You don't need to tell me something positive before you tell me something bad. Like, just give me the bad news, right?
You're
like,
getting that.
I would rather hear it bluntly like that. So I think it really depends on who's receiving it too, and like how
who's
they
giving
receive it
to you and how they're doing
You're
it.
getting that behind closed doors, though, right?
Yeah.
You're going on a TV show to sing.
And
You
then
get what you
some-
get. You know what you signed up for.
And some of that criticism is harsh.
Yeah. Sure.
Like,
Let's be kind when we can. How's that? Coming up next, he's always kind. We're going to check in with Rick Campanelli, who is live from Sick Kids Hospital in honor of Giving Tuesday. That's coming up right after this.
Great day to be kind.